Hey everyone, Barantos here. So I want to make a kind of a funner video intro to a polls we're going to be putting up on my YouTube channel. So with SHOT Show being this week and the Gundy Awards and me not agreeing with some of the nominations, I decided to take it upon myself to make the Anti-Gundy Awards. So here we got some categories of biggest shill of the year, worst clickbaiter, uh, worst brand of the year, most cringe gun tuber, worst gun trend, the gun you would not want to shoot, the worst gun tuber sponsor, as well as the brand with the worst fans. So just to walk through some of these, I'm a big fan of the most cringe gun tuber. This one I came up with, I think, first because I watched one of the videos from the collector and my skin was crawling the whole time. Like, I get it, you got money, you came into it recently, it looks like. You have all these guns, they're mostly meme guns. Like, I get it, the Cabots, I'm a big fan of Cabot, but they're not one of a kind, some of these ones you have. They're just being in the Gun of the Month club with Cabot, as well as, we have Black Rambo on there, who the safety in the videos is a little sketchy to me, and kind of, just mag dumping into whatever. Uh, Makes me cringe a little. Demo Ranch, for obvious reasons. I don't need to know how much peanut butter a 50 cal can shoot through. It's never crossed my mind. Nor if it did and I had a 50 cal, I wouldn't set up peanut butter to shoot through. And then lastly, Detroit Urban Survival Training. So if you've seen any of his videos, it's like, hey, learn how to disarm someone with your chin. Put your neck on the barrel of the gun. That'll help. So yeah, there's some interesting ones out there. Biggest shill of the year. We see Such on here first. He's definitely what comes to mind if someone asks me who is the biggest shill in the gun community, because this guy loves everything. Everything's new and innovative. You need to have it. And yeah, and then my personal beef with Kothon Trust, I think is her name. I don't even know what that means or why it's called that or anything like that. But she shills, like, hey, you want to be able to shoot your ARs folded? Here's the new Law Eric bolt carrier group. And then proceeds to shoot a gun that's the most overgassed thing on the planet. And then just takes her a second to fold it back to where it should be and shoot it like normal. But apparently, those two shots that took longer than it took to fold the gun were that important, that you had to shoot the gun, with the stock folded. So she also advertises all these like weird fantasy knives and things like that for, self-defense. Sharpen one of them on video. I dare you. You're not going to do it. I challenge you to that. You're getting these knives that no one can sharpen and you're pitching them. The third nomination there is Military Arms Channel. I think Tim's had a pretty big fall from grace with the gun community. I used to love the mud test and the reliability videos and things like that, but lately it definitely seems like he's been pushing things are innovative and you should pick this up that really aren't. And then Mr. Guns and Gear, I hear come up a decent amount, on Reddit, YouTube, things like that. So they're on there. We have worst brand of the year. KUSA is on here twice. Two mentions. If you know what's been going on with Kalashnikov USA over the last few months, you probably know. If you don't know, you should look into it a little bit. It's a pretty fun rabbit hole to go down to. Let's just say they had some sketchy QC and then decided that hiring Jesse James and Bonnie Rotten was a great idea. It newsflash, it didn't turn out great. So they're kind of, from my understanding, is revamping things, switching that up, and hoping to come out this next year with a more quality focused and less flashy social media presence on things, as well as a better response to their customers, instead of saying you just don't know how to use a gun, instead of actually looking into things. So some of the worst gun trends, on here is one. We got Punisher skulls. get my nomination. Like if I see a Punisher skull, it's like, do you know why he became the Punisher? Like you have a family and kids, probably shouldn't be posting Punisher skulls on everything. Just an idea. Especially too if you're, you know, a police officer. I don't know if you followed much of the Punisher, if you watch the videos or the shows, the movies, anything like that. He's not always the friendliest with police officers. So that whole thin blue line Punisher skull, I get a kick out of. You know, the irony as well as the hypocrisy with it. So that's on here. You know, just some fun kind of categories for you to nominate. If you feel that there's anyone that was left off here that would get a lot of votes, definitely feel free to add that to the poll potentially or leave it in the comments. I'm interested in what you guys see as well because, you know, I'm only one person. YouTube only has my algorithm. I think that I got a pretty diverse group here, or a pretty accurate group. Maybe Kothron Trust isn't popping up in your guys' YouTube, but she popped up in mine with, oh God, what was it? Like the law tactical folder or something like that. Because I was researching how to take one off actually on one of my ARs that I ordered with it that I'm probably going to take off and sell. So just a couple categories here. I didn't want to make it too crazy. Didn't want to overload you guys with polls. We'll have our nominations here. If you see something on here that you want an explanation on, I mean, worst clickbaiter, Yankee Marshall. For me, these big flashy like thumbnails, like they're taking your guns or you're an idiot, you know, whatever he does. And then Gun Collective, that guy's like a morning radio show jockey. It feels like to me, he's like, hey, everybody, let's get wild. Let's talk about the newest thing, which is comps on pistols, you know, or something cheesy like that. It seems like he uses a lot of clickbait and a lot of, like, it would be like if, you know, your 15-year-old son was trying to produce like a newsreel for school. That's what I feel like the Gun Collective is, or at least what it seems like to me. I get it. He's trying to educate people, but the way you're doing it, I'm not a fan of. Maybe some of you are, but definitely feel free to comment and leave who you would add to this. I'm looking forward to see some responses on this. I feel like I'm probably right with who I would pick in all these, that they will be the most popular choice and they'll probably walk away the winners of the nominations, but really curious to see who I left off this list. Or if you were to do other categories that kind of, you know, this is like what pisses me off a little bit in the gun community is, you know, the cringe, the shills, the clickbaiters, that sort of thing. If there's some categories of things that piss you off in the gun community, I'd love to hear those too. All right, take care, everyone.